the NFL on EA Sports. And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Bengals and the Chiefs, and it comes...
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Bengals make their way out on offense for the first time, led by their fifth-year quarterback out of LSU, Joe Burrow.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week one. With 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And whoa, he's going to hope that that is not a sign of things to come. A rude welcoming to this ball game. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now it's Burrow. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
An inside give, Brown. And despite the good footwork, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. You talk about this Chiefs defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
With their lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass? And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now as they get set for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he was terrific in the opener, threw 3 touchdown passes, and make no mistake about it, he was eager to get right back out and do it again. So I think we'll see him try to test his secondary quite a bit as this game goes on.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Now, this is a quarterback that's already in the top 100 all-time in passing yards, but that last throw going to move him past Roger Staubach on the all-time list. Roger Charles at 22,700.
Don't forget, he also won 2 Super Bowls, played from 1969 to 1979. And I would dare say Roger's numbers would be larger, but remember, he had a commitment to the Navy. A graduate of the Naval Academy, and back then you had to serve your 5-year hitch before you could go on and join the NFL.
Sam Hubbard that time coming through defensively with reckless abandon. The Chiefs had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these 2 probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. Well, this defense for the Bengals, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
2nd and 9.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
You talk about this Bengals defense.
They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going. How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
He'll look to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their 2nd drive.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Another run for Brown on 2nd down.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Being chased out left. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Burrow. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted.
Down the right sideline.
And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allow signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City.
And Xavier Worthy,
his third touchdown now on the year.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So an early 10-0 lead for him now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Cincinnati set to take over once again.
They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
Right back to Brown. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. 1st down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
This is Brown going up the middle.
And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 39. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Burrow will throw.
They'll find the former Steeler, Deontay Johnson.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Burrow looking to pass.
And that one complete once again to Higgins.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. To the end zone.
Be tipped up and picked off.
This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Here we go. And Burrow going to throw again. And it's caught. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
They're going to run for it. It's Moss.
And he's not going to get there. They tackle him at the 2. The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And he is out of bounds up past the 10. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And he's got some space here. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yards.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Chiefs to take over. They were losers a week ago to Baltimore, but they lead things here as they start 1st and 10. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
And Pacheco furiously moves the chains, and that's something he did a lot of in 2023. The Rutgers product produced a first down on over 25% of his carries a season ago, and he continues to move the ball.
On first down, they go back to Pacheco.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45.
And a tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
At the 45-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw.
He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Past the 20.
He's got the first down and then some.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to extend their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Now it's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Here's Burrow. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Holding offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And very little room to maneuver. They'll get this down to about the 39.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Quick completion here to Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2nd and a couple. From the gun, a give to Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now they go play action now. Burrow. That one caught by all, the tight end. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Here's 3rd and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now it's Burrow. That is caught. He's got the 1st down and more. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. T. Higgins, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bengals have got it back to within a score.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this 1st half. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because They just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll set up to throw. No hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Back to throw again. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, complete. It's Rice. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 21. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where you see the final score there. Justin Herbert, couple of touchdown passes as his guys win their second straight to start the year. From there, let's head to AT&T Stadium as we check out the Cowboys at home in Dallas. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Dak Prescott, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Derrick Henry, a touchdown run in the victory.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want.
Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3 and out. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Pacheco gets it up the gut. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. Daxton Hill was right there to break up that play.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
2 sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Burrow will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. And Chase will go in motion left. Now Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Nice hands displayed there by the former Penn State standout. And he's certainly hoping to get back on track now that he's playing in a Bengals offense that better suits his skill set.
That's to his tight end all. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. 2nd down and a yard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's George Karlaftis greeting him behind the line with a big stop.
Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Burrow looking to pass. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain. 3rd and 12.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Evan McPherson out for the Bengal field goal.
From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this 3rd quarter.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that
a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10
at their own 46. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow.
That is incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And Burrow going to throw again.
Now a short one to Gesicki. Down the sideline he goes.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD.
Chase Brown, 38 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
5 plays there on that drive, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
And now here comes Kansas City.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here.
They'll look to throw.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4.
Handoff up the middle. Hunt.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
That one caught by Rice.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 22-yard line.
That's another Kansas City Chiefs.
Back to throw.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
He'll look to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco.
And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They're going to look to throw. The tight end, Kelsey, has it over the middle.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Second and 5. Touchdown! Rashee Rice, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Chase. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Here we go. 11,
Burrow will throw. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 38-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
He'll look to Gesicki on the out route. Ball is caught. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Now it's Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Now back to throw. And this pass caught by Gray. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 37-yard line.
A handoff now for Pacheco. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still 3rd down.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Pacheco. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Pacheco once again. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So a big one coming now for Harrison Butker. This to swell the lead to 6. Butker's kick here is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
So Burrow and the Bengals down by 6, a little under a minute to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that's into the hands of Gesicki. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Now Burrow. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Higgins. Burrow. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Here's Burrow.
is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So for Kansas City, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.